Hello students, welcome to our today's lesson. Today we will discuss two important questions and their answer from class 12 physics unit 5. The first one is energy stored in an inductor. So we are going to find out the expression for energy stored in an inductor. And the second question or second one is we have to prove that I RMS is equals to 0.707 I naught of an AC, where symbols have their usual meaning. That means here I RMS means root mean square velocity and AC means alternating current. Okay, so let's start. So first one is energy stored in an inductor. So from our previous discussion, you already know about what is inductor, what is inductance, what is self-induction. Okay. So to calculate the expression for energy stored in an inductor, we have to consider one inductor of inductance length, inductance L. Okay. Suppose an inductor of inductance L is connected to a source supplying current whose value can be varied continuously from 0 to some final value. While the current I in the inductor is changing at the rate di dt, and induced EMF of magnitude E is equals to L di dt appears across the inductor. So if we draw the diagram, suppose this is our inductor and inductor is connected with an AC source. So suppose this V is equals to Vm sin omega t, and this is our inductor. Okay. So while the current I, so suppose current is I. So while the current I in the inductor is changing at the rate di dt, and induced EMF this E is equals to L di dt appears across the inductor. The polarity of the induced EMF is opposite to that of the source voltage. Okay, I repeat, the polarity of the induced EMF opposite to that of the source voltage, so as to oppose the increase in the currents, the external power supplied by the source to the inductor in maintaining the current I against the induced EMF is, so P is equals to E into I. So what is the P? P is the power, the external power supplied by the source to the inductor in maintaining the current I against the induced EMF, this E. So P is equals to E into I. Now what is the value of E? We can put E is equals to L di dt. So in place of E, L di dt, and we have one I here. So we can write L I di dt. Okay. Now, the energy supplied to the inductor in time dt, the energy supplied to the inductor in time dt is dW is equals to P dt. So from here, put the value of P is equals to Li di dt. So Li di dt is equals to P. So we have 1 dt here. So finally we will get dW is equals to Li di. This dt cancel out. So Li di. dW is equals to Li di. This also represents the energy supplied to increase the current in the inductor from I to I plus di. Okay. Thus, the total energy supplied when the current increased from 0 to a final value I, we can write the energy W is equals to L integration 0 to I di. So I di means I square divided by 2. So I square divided by 2 and then the limit 0 to I. So finally we get half I square. Half I square. Half I square and 1 L is here. So L. So energy stored in an inductor W is equals to half L I square. Okay. I will share note for this. From the note you will get the idea. You have to write what in place of theory. Okay, just I discuss about here some calculation, and from the note you will know what you should write for theory part. Okay, now our next topic is we have to prove that IRMS is equals to 0.707 I naught. Okay, so let's start. To find the value of the RMS current IRMS in terms of the maximum value of the alternating current, that means I naught, you can write in place of I naught IM also. Okay, so to find the value of the RMS current IRMS in terms of the maximum value of the alternating current I naught or IM, we have to square the expression I is equals to I naught sine omega t. So if we square this, what we get? So squaring both sides, I square is equals to this square. So or I square is equals to, we get I naught square sine square omega t. Okay. Now the average value of I square is then related to the average value of sine square omega t. The average value of this I square is related to the average value of sine square omega t, as average value of I square is equals to I naught square average value of sine square omega t. By this symbol we represent the average value. Suppose if we write x in between these two symbols, then we can call this as average value of x. So average value for I square is equals to I naught square average value of sine square omega t. Okay, now to calculate average value of sine square omega t, we know that time average of sine square omega t is equal to the time average of cos square omega t. So when taken over any number of complete cycles, so we can write sine square omega t average is equals to cos square omega t average. Okay. Now using the relation in the trigonometric identity, what we know sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Here theta means omega t. So sine square omega t plus cos square omega t is equals to, we can write 1. Because from trigonometric rules or formula we know sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Then what we get? So in place of sine square omega t, we can write average value of sine square omega t plus. Now cos square omega t is equals to what? Sine square omega t. So in place of cos square omega t, we can write sine square omega t is equals to 1. So sine square omega t plus sine square omega t, that is 2 sine square omega t is equals to 1. So we can write average value of sine square omega t is equals to half. Okay. Therefore, we can write from this equation I square is related to sine square omega t. So we can write average value of I square is equals to I RMS square is equals to, we can write I naught square by 2. I naught square by 2, which yields I RMS is equals to, we can write from root over I naught square by 2. So it's I naught divided by root 2. Now if we calculate 1 by root 2, so if we divide 1 by root 2, we get 0.707, then 1 I naught. So finally we get I RMS is equals to 0.707 I naught. Okay, and in bracket we can write proved. That's all for today. Thank you all of you.